Alright, I'm back. Grabbed a sandwich. Ah. Hmm. Hmm. Oh man. I really do love playing FF7R. Probably because Final Fantasy 7 is like my favorite game of all time. Or one of the most influential games to me in my like formative years, I guess. When you call that. It was the first time I like got a game for myself. Before that, video games were just like toys, pretty much to me. Like play with them, whatever. And my brother played them, and I hung out and I watched and I played some games and here and there. But the PlayStation 1 and Final Fantasy 7 were like the first things I bought for myself. So I always do like to say that like Final Fantasy 7 is the game that made me a gamer. Huh. It's probably the reason why I always thought about like wanting to go back and replay the original too at some point on stream. Problem with that is it's been a long time since I replayed since I played the original, and I love it so much. If I did play through it, I want to do like a full playthrough of it. I'm talking like 100%, like not everything 100% crazy shit like that. Like 99 of every no, none of that shit. But like every boss, every chest, every item, every summon, every huge materia, every, you know what I mean, all the stuff to show off. But I mean, not to show off like, hey, I'm cool, but to show off to my audience, like everything that game has to offer. But again, it's been so long since I played it that I don't remember all the stuff. That's kind of why I want to play through it. Although, I've been thinking about wanting to play through like all of the Final Fantasy games on stream at some point. For the older ones, like maybe the pixel remasters and stuff like that. Just to like go back through and pick up all the little Easter eggs and those sorts of things. Like, especially as a 14 player, all the little references and Easter eggs and stuff to other games, I like to pick those up, to notice those, right? Rather than having to be blind, not even get it, or be told like a month later, hey guys, look at this reference or whatever. I like to be able to notice them myself. So, but it's been even longer on most other Final Fantasy games than it has been for 7 since I replayed most of them. I really didn't finish a number of them. Like the super early ones, like 1 and 2, I don't think I ever even played. 3, I played I think it was the DS remake of it, or whatever. I didn't finish it though. 4, 5, 6, I finished all them. 7 multiple times. 8, at least finished once. I played it multiple times. I don't know if I finished it multiple times. 9 once. Twice? No, I think once. 10 once. Because 10 is a good game. Like on a technical front, the battle system, the sphere grid, all that is a good game, but I fucking like hate all the characters in 10. Like all the characters I'm supposed to care about, I hate in 10. Right? Like, Orin's cool. Kamari's kind of cool. Lulu's pretty cool. But, like, they're not the main three. Right? Riku's okay. But the big three that you're supposed to really focus on are the three I hate the most. And then one of the biggest villains, Seymour, I just hate him. Every time he's on screen, I just want him to go away. Yeah, seriously, like Titus, Yuna, and Waka, I fucking hate them like every time they're on screen. Seymour, I just fucking hate him every time he's on screen. And not in the way that they want you to. Like, Seymour is a villain. Yeah. They want you to hate Seymour. That makes perfect sense. But there are two different ways villains can end up being written. One is, oh my god, I love to hate this guy. Like, this guy is such a good villain. I love to hate him. Seymour, I just hate him. Like, every time he's on screen, I want him to be off screen. I don't want to hear from him. I don't want to see him. I don't want anything to do with him. Right? It's not a he's a villain, so I hate him. It's a he's a shit villain, so I just don't want him to be in the game. He's an annoying, terrible, gross fucking villain, and I just don't want anything to do with him. Right? 10-2 I never played. I think I've watched other people play through 10-2 pretty much from start to finish at this point. Other like YouTubers or streamers or things like that. I think I've seen the whole game through. But I never played it myself because...
the son of Jack.
Yup. Rehashing some characters I didn't like, and then the whole stupid fucking singing, dancing, idol garbage of 10-2, like, just made me hate that story even more. 11 I've never touched, I don't think. Would be kind of interesting to see how you would set up 11 these days, and then maybe just try like an MSQ playthrough. Not really all the classes or a bunch of side stuff like I do in 14, but just like straight MSQ playthrough. There's something about his voice too, which is... Bleh. Yes, you're right. It should have been Lulu instead of Pain. It was supposed to be the three girls originally. It was supposed to be Yuna, Rika, and Lulu, but they decided they wanted to shoot for a younger audience, so they brought in this no-name nobody who no one gave a shit about, thinking that would get a younger audience interested. And because they didn't have anything to do with Lulu now, they grabbed the Lulu action figure and the Waka action figure that was standing slightly next to her because, you know, they provided emotional support to each other over the death of his brother, and then they mashed the two of them together, make them kissy noises, and said she was knocked up. Like, that's what they did, okay? Not only should it have been Lulu, but then they shafted Lulu because they had nothing else to do with her at that point. They hooked her up with the most worthless character that she never had any romantic chemistry with and said that she was pregnant. Just to be like, what do we do with her now? It was such a waste. Like I said, 11 never touched. 12 I've beaten... Oh no, I didn't actually beat 12 myself, did I? I've played 12 like 5 times, but around the time I'm getting to the Empire, the Arcadian Empire, like every single time I play that game, I end up like falling off right around that area.
As you ask yourself, wow, is the writing always this bad? It was. It was always this bad.
Yes, it was. It was always this bad. Like, every time I play 12, I do a bunch of shit in that game, and I have a lot of fun with it, but around the time I get to the Empire, I just fall off. And not specifically because it's, like, bad writing, or I hate the Empire, or I hate this or that. I don't know. I just end up, like, falling off around that time in the game every time. I don't think I've ever actually beaten 12 all the way through myself. I think I've seen the end in the other cutscenes for it, but I don't think I've ever beaten it myself. 13, 13-2, beat them both. 13-2 twice, I think. Because I actually really kind of enjoy, like, the time jumping and warping and party designing and all that in 13.2. I think I've told the 12 story, I think, why I stopped playing it. I don't know if you did. Oddly enough, I think that 13.2 is kind of where they hit their stride on 13. Like, 13 was a little rough. 13.2 mechanically, I think everything was working like really well there, and then 13.3 they just like shit the bed. Like, I don't know what side of the bed they had to wake up on to be so delusional as to think 13.3 was a good game. And then 14 I've played hundreds of hours of, and I'm still playing more of. 15 I've played twice, beaten once, I think. Played twice, beaten once. And 16, I am desperately trying to build up any amount of give a fuck for 16. Like, whatever little interest I can muster in myself for 16, every single time the words Game of Thrones leave the developers' mouths, it just fucking dies in the pit of my stomach. Like, I don't fucking care.